I would love you to remember what happened with the two men that came from Pharaoh that were in prison with Joseph. I know that there are a whole lot of people out there in our lives that had come our ways that would not want to remember us. Some of them will, but there are some that are very funny with their character. Listen to the book of Genesis, chapter 40, verse 23. Yet the chief butler did not remember Joseph, but forgot him. The chief butler forgot Joseph. When Joseph interpreted the dream of the cupbearer was hung as it was revealed by Joseph. But the one Joseph said, it is going to be beautiful with you. It ended up being like that. And he did not remember Joseph for good 2 years until God Himself brought a dream to Pharaoh who needed interpreter that Joseph was called upon. That is how some of us are out there. I have been in this journey as well, that people brought me to the level I am today. I remember every now and then, and I call them to appreciate them. I call them to pray with them. I call them to tell them that the years of a truth God brought them my way to lift me to the level I am today. Do you know that when I was younger, after my primary school, my dad used to have four wives that I met since I'm born into this world. I discovered that the two before my mother have children that were either in Lagos or back in Ibadan or Kaduna, thereabout. Guess what happened? And my uncle's children, my first cousins who were also supposed to be there for me, none of them were looking at my direction. They say this that I heard, that if they send me to school, I will grow and won't remember them. Do you know that after my primary school, nobody thought of me going further? But to God be the glory. God brought the missionary that were there for me, that I am where I am today. Isn't that glorious? And when I got a diploma from being trained by the missionaries, do you know, I brought my own half brother, Junior, from the same father, different mother, that after his secondary school, I picked him, got a school for him in one of the polytechnics in the eastern part of Nigeria while I was in Abuja. Because it was too of a distance, I had to close that admission and brought him to Abuja, got him a diploma program to do a diploma program in Abuja since I was living in Abuja so that it won't be too difficult for me to reach him. Till today, I have not heard him said, my senior brother Joe helped me to get to Abuja, fed for me, pay my school fee, fed me, and got me accommodation to live. I never heard that. And nobody had ever said, this is what I heard from your younger brother, ever, from the same father. Meanwhile, my senior were not ready for it. Remember what I just read. The butler did not remember Joseph. If it wasn't important, the Bible would not record it. The missionary who helped me to get to the level I am today, I don't forget that they are as in existence. I remember every day. I call them to appreciate God for them. I call them to pray for them. But my own brother from the same father, never. One day he told me plain, the certificate I got from the university is not what I use in getting the job. Who were contesting this with him? But the knowledge he acquired, nobody would take the knowledge away from him. No doubt about that. And besides that, when I was leaving Abuja to Accra, Ghana, in 1999 come 2000, guess what my junior brother told me? I told him, the motorcycle you have, use it to get your handouts, while I will pay your school fee rather. I will pay your school fee. My junior brother told me, when I was back at home, when I was back at home, did I send for you to ask me to come and go to school? If you're not getting me the handouts for the program he was doing, that he wasn't going to do it. That he didn't beg me to send for him to come and go to school. Can you imagine that your own family will tell you this? But we continue to thank God. Remember what happened in the book of Luke chapter 17 from verse 11 to verse 19. Lepers, 10 of them, saw Jesus Christ and they shouted out to reach him. When Jesus responded, they were all cleansed, according to that passage. Do you know that only one of them returned back to come and tell him thank you? How many of them came back? Only one. At the time, 11 were living in accommodation I got for them in Kado village, close to Kado estate where I was living those days. God is wonderful. We don't do things to get the reward. Reward only comes from God. But appreciation matters. Whatever we ought to give honor to, the Bible says, give honor to who honor is due. So this is not about, oh, he's saying this because he wants glory. I'm saying it to let others who may be having such an attitude to remember that you don't need this attitude to progress. God will bless those who remember that he alone brings people our ways. A whole lot of things. A whole lot of things. Our family can be very funny at times. It may be happening to some of you who may be listening to this now, but I want you to continue to do good. All to the glory of your Father in heaven. He alone will reward you. Remember, bless. That is what he wants you to hear this day.